All right, my friends, I'm finally bringing the PC controller settings video. I've been meaning to put this out for a while. It just seems like I never really had the time to do so, but I keep getting asked in my streams, you know, if you're a controller player and you don't really know how to go about the settings, I can give you guys some tips. You don't necessarily have to use my settings, but at least understand, you know, how they can affect you. So some of the PC videos that you've seen out there, PC settings video that you've seen out there probably look very similar to what I have, but I'll go over the ones that I feel like are more important, especially on, you know, being a controller player. So auto overcome obstacles while sprinting I have off. I do have climbing sensitivity in custom. Now this one's very important if you're in a controller. Skill casting mode, and I'll give an example. If you're trying to teleport with Cypher, you have to, and you leave this in double tap to cast, and you're in the middle of a fight, you're going down. By the time that you actually decide the destination and you have to tap it again one more time, more than likely you got shot to death. So just something to keep in mind. I have it on cast on release for that reason. I pretty much just know where I want to throw it, and then as soon as I press the button, bam, I just teleport to that location. So I highly recommend that you do cast on release if you're playing on controller. Damage numbers, I do stack. Squad notification, info notifications I do have on. I don't unfortunately don't enjoy getting spammed with outside invites, so only invites from mutual followers. Automatically switching weapons when out of ammo, and I have it on, and this can be a lifesaver at times. If you have this off and you just want to be able to change to the, this is going to be preference more than anything. Allow friend spectators is on. Enable others to reserve on. Streamer mode I have off. I don't really see the need for it, at least on my case. It might be something I might try in the future. And I do enjoy the highlights. I actually use some of the highlights for some of my videos when I'm doing like the guides or anything, so check those out if you guys haven't by now. Enemy outline border, I think it's very important for everybody to just have on. The same thing goes for screen special effects with being hit. You just want to know when this is happening. Minimap rotation I do have off. I don't really think that that's really necessary in this particular map. I think visually minimap gives you a lot of information as it is, so there's no reason for you to change this. Button hints, I have display all. Now in graphics, this is where is a do as I say and not do as I do, but in my case I do have a 3 monitor setup, so I do like to, when I'm in the menu, you know, go back and forth between my left and my right monitor as I'm right now. So I do have it in borderless, but if you want max FPS, you're probably not gonna want to have it in borderless. You're probably gonna want to do full screen. Don't recommend windowed. So it's, if you're gonna do my own setup, I don't really struggle with FPS as I have it set up right now, even though I run borderless, and that's probably because of the changes that are coming up. So monitor 1, graphics quality, so this is where it varies for some people, and I would say if anything, go into the training room and see, you know, what, just go ahead and take a look and see how your graphics look. I feel like you can get away with the best FPS if you run this in smooth, but I do like the game to look a little bit nicer, so I tend to run things always in HD. I tried HDR, Ultra, and Extreme, and while it does look a little bit nicer, it's very minimal. All right, and on frame rate, I have it set to very high. You definitely want to run only very high in this, so you can get 240. But if you want to change it to high, it's 144, and then low and medium are pretty much the same frame rate. I think it's 60 FPS. Okay. All right, and visual style I have set for default. I've tried bright and fresh and they look really good, but I think this is just, you know, options depending on how it looks like on your monitor and whatever you prefer, so preference at this point. Brightness I do have at 50. I think that's a preference thing, and like I said, I have NVIDIA settings already set up for my monitor, so I like the way the game looks right now. Okay, and continuing, we go with internal anti-aliasing options I have off. Anisotropic filtering I also have at 1. Sun shadow detail I have at low. This you can change if you want your shadow to be highly detailed, but it's gonna take some FPS from you, so just having a low works for me. Rendering scale I do have at 100. And then external anti-aliasing switch, I have it at off. All right, so let's talk about controller settings. Again, this is all gonna be preference, but I keep getting asked in my streams, what is my sensitivity? So this is what works for me. You are more than welcome to check and see what works for you. Custom bind setting, I actually prefer to shoot with my front bumpers, so I have changed that in my settings. I shoot with my front bumpers, and then I do my secondary actions in the back with this one. So, and it's probably all, you know, comfort levels, how you guys actually play. When I play, I actually hold the controller in this matter, so it's easier for me to shoot with the front bumpers, and then I actually use my triggers to activate my secondary action. So again, preference. If you guys want your back triggers, keep them in that way, but just know that you could go to custom bind key and change your button layout. Then you have aiming mode in hold. I have sprinting mode in auto. Auto sprinting is the way to go. And then vision sensitivity is where it can get, tricky for some people. Just they can't figure out what vision sensitivity to use in the game. And I think it puts you initially in the default setting. I don't recommend for you guys to go with a low vision sensitivity with controller. And I would say stick between very high, ultra, and crazy, as you want to keep up with the sensitivity of other mobile players and PC mouse and keyboard players, which they really have sensitivity. They can just flick on you, and if you don't have the high sensitivity, it's gonna be a struggle to keep up in fights. Advanced sensitivity settings we can dive into, but I will say it's all preference to here. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of my actual settings, you can do it right now. Red scope the red dot scope and the 2x scope have the higher percentages for me, so that I can maneuver myself in fights, up close battles, and then of course the long range fights tend to be with the 4x scope and the 8x scope, so that's why I have the sensitivity a little bit the low end, the percentage on the low end. Firing, again, all preference, and you guys can look and see what I have for my red dot scope and my 2x scope. Of course, I have it higher, as I mentioned in my other scopes. Let you guys look at that. And then vehicle view sensitivity, I didn't really mess with this, but if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, I just set that to be the same way. And then advanced settings here, we got all the access sensitivities, the joystick acceleration, and I have tweaked some things, but it's just because of like going into the training room. But for the most part, they should all still pretty much be the same. Joystick acceleration at 0. And then down here on joystick acceleration for ADS, I do have it on. All right, and my vision response curve, I do have it set to linear. I think the game by default gives you high speed. I have tried a little bit of high precision stability, but I haven't tried traditional, so that's something I should probably try. Either way, I haven't even tried it because I've fallen in love with linear. I tend to get it into a lot of up close battles and engagements, and I feel like with linear it gives me a little bit more control over my gun, especially when I'm doing hip fires, up close battle strafing, you name it. I tend to win a lot more battles with linear. Where you can see a little bit of a difference is in the long range fights, but I can track very easily like a BSS or a bar with linear regardless. It's just one of those things that I think if you're a beginner new to the game, you might want to try high speed, and then eventually as you start spending some time with the game, give linear a shot and see if it works for you. Again, it's all preference, but I just tend to win a lot more up close battles with it. Okay, and invert vertical look I have off. Left stick dead zone and right stick dead zone, guys, don't mess with this. This is you want your control to be as responsive as possible. You don't want any delays, so keep them at none. Menu pointer speed, this is up to you. This is when you're in the menu, if however fast you want the bolt to go, change it. I have it set to 125, but you can go as fast as you want on this one, or slow it down. Aim assist, definitely keep it on. I will say the aim assist controller in this game is definitely something that you don't feel much. Maybe in like really up close battles it helps, but long range you have to almost guess or just have a nice idea as to where people are heading on shots. Vibration, definitely not. You don't want anything to distract you from when you're shooting opponents. Wheeled vehicles use separate brakes and throttles, I have off. Medical roulette operation, I have press to use. But if you want to do release to use, you can. It's just optional. And in secret roulette operation mode, I have release to use as well. Sound settings, it's all preference too. Audio quality, I have set up to ultra. Master, I have pretty high, and when it comes to sound effects, I will typically have it here just because I'm recording this video and I want like this sound to come out while I'm recording. But I typically have it around here. I don't have it all the way up. And then background music, right now it's low, but if I'm recording out of YouTube, I do enjoy the songs. They just added some new cool ones to the game, so I have it somewhere in the middle. Capsular voices, I don't like them too high. I like them barely enough to the point where I can hear the cues and I know what they're saying, just in case there's a nice call out from one of my opponents with the characters. Mic volume, I have pretty much not messed with the volume unless they're telling me I'm too low. But outside of that, I don't change them. And then mic channel, I typically have it off. I don't like people hearing me when I'm in game, unless I've changed it to squad. Whenever I'm playing with somebody that doesn't want to jump into voice chat with me in Discord. Audio channel, I typically have off, but the same thing, if you're playing with somebody that doesn't want to jump into a Discord chat, at least you can hear them if I have it selected to squad. I definitely don't recommend alt because then the rest of the lobby will hear. Audio output device, I have just, this is going to be based on your own settings in your own PC. But I do have open mic, and if you're mouse and key, you might want to do push to talk. It might be easier. But I am a controller player, so I have to have it set up that way. Language, you can select the language as you please here. The voice packs, so here we go. I actually think that even the Japanese voice packs sound better, but I do enjoy hearing the voice cues from the characters. So if you guys want to be able to tell if somebody's getting shot at or something, you can definitely hear it in game, or if they're pointing in a particular direction. So I do have it set up for English. And then in custom, last but not least, I have squad mates perspective projector color, and I think it comes originally in gray, but you can select it to whatever color you want, and it's gonna make your life easier to tell that they're your teammates. I have it in teal, and then definitely have your enemy outline color, and I mean red. Red is warning, so I just have it set up for red. It affects color red as well. All right, guys, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. Again, I'm a controller player, so I wanted to cover the controller portion the most on this one. If you guys have any questions, or if you guys have some recommendations of your own, I'm always willing to try it. I've been playing the game for 3.5 months, and so far this is the one, so I can always make an updated PC settings and controller settings for you guys in the future. But let me know what you guys think, and if you guys found this helpful, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.